Hello, everyone, and welcome to our second edition of Captain's Log. Slightly different today in that instead of a captain, we are talking to a fantastic new addition to the club with our player coach, Jake Rowe. Jake, how are we doing?
Hi, very well, thanks. How are you?
Yeah, good, thank you. Thanks for giving a bit of your time. It's good to chat to you ahead of the season. We'll jump straight in, Jake. What attracted you to Chippenham and joining us this year?
It's a good question. I think after playing a couple of seasons in Prem 2 and having a bit of success there, and then obviously previously being in Prem 1 with Clevedon, it was time to get back into Prem 1. And I couldn't think of a better way to do it than with the biggest club in Wiltshire, really. Myself and my partner have changed locations as well. So, yeah, it just seems like a good move all round.
Okay, and what are you really excited about with the season ahead, Jake?
I think from what I've seen already at winter training, there's a really big talent pool. There's a lot of potential throughout the club, and we're gearing up for a very big season. I think there are various teams that are eyeing up promotion, and although that's a long way off and there are 18 league games ahead, it's really good to set those sorts of targets. So lots of potential, and ability wise, I've been really impressed so far.
Great to hear, good to hear. So let's find out a little bit more about you then, Jake. So what type of coach are you? What can we expect in training sessions and out in the middle?
I'm not sure I want to give too much away, to be honest, but I've got a few sort of fundamental beliefs, if you like. I'm a strong believer of controlling the controllables. And that's both on and off the pitch. So, making sure that you turn up on time, you keep yourself fit, train properly with an objective, and that sets the right tone for sort of developing and improvement. If you're not doing those basics, then you can't really expect to make groundbreaking developments on the pitch. So, yeah, set yourself up well off the pitch, and the rest should fall into place, really. And then little things here and there, like making sure you run hard. We've all been in those games where we've lost by 1 or 2 runs, and you go back through the scorecard and think, oh, what if? And again, with things like wides, tallies and things, they can all add up over the course of the season. So those little things, those 1% things here and there, really do make a difference.
Now, obviously we're talking about coaching there, but the expectation is that you will play as well. So as a player coach, Jake, how are you going to balance that, being part of the team and playing and coaching as well, and the sort of the dual commitments there?
It is sometimes challenging. However, this isn't a new position for me to be in. So the last 3 years I've been a club professional at Midsummer Norton Cricket Club, and then I've also played 3 years abroad as player coach in Australia and New Zealand. So I think I've over the course of 6 seasons of doing it, I've managed to find that balance. And probably the big help, which is unique or fairly unique, is the fact that my girlfriend Charlotte, she plays a lot of cricket as well. So she's actually joining the club this year, and we'll be hoping to feature in the men's second team on Saturdays, and she plays for Gloss Women and things. So what's nice is that on club coaching nights, I can be just there as a coach, giving everything to other players, and then I can get through my own training in my own time with Charlotte. So it works quite nicely.
Brilliant, and that's great to hear. And we'll aim to sort of speak to a number of teams that the club run throughout this sort of Captain's Log series as well. So you mentioned training and being impressed with what you've seen so far. Is there anything in particular that's impressed you, and how is the strength looking across the club from what you've seen?
It's looking really strong. Again, it's difficult to say when we're still technically in pre-season mode, but I've been really impressed with the number of high quality players, but also at such a young age. It almost feels like they've achieved more than they should have at their age. Particularly the first team being promoted into Prem 1 in the last couple of years, that was achieved with a very young side overall. So that bodes really well for the future. And yeah, there are big hopes for the rest of the club in terms of a couple of promotions, hopefully, and that just sets up the long-term future. So I think I've already realised that it's not a case of sort of big technical changes to people. It's actually just making the best of what they've already got and just honing in on those skills. That's actually all that's needed at the moment, I think, because they've got that basic technique and ability there. It's just a case of how we use it.
Brilliant. Okay. And sort of looking ahead then to getting outside, what are your expectations, both as a player and a coach, for that season ahead?
Well, it's a tough one. Obviously, I don't want to again say too much and then eat my words halfway through the season. But yeah, realistically, we really want the second team to get promoted. Bridging that gap between the second and first team is crucial for long-term development. It means that, you know, there's not only downward pressure on selection from people being dropped, but almost for the right reasons of upward pressure from underneath in teams. So that's a crucial aspect of our plan this year, and that having a second team in the Whipple pyramid is a very good thing to achieve. There aren't too many clubs that have first and second team in the Whipple pyramid, and, you know, not forgetting the rest of the club. Ideally, I think it's the fours that we want to really push this season, because again, that sort of just makes the gaps between the sides a little bit more regular, and it means that it can be a lot more free flowing with, you know, players coming in and out of each side when needed. So expectation wise, it's tough to say, but we definitely have some clear sort of objectives in mind that we've come up with already.
Brilliant. And here's to hopefully another successful season. So you mentioned sort of your past experience in various leagues there, Jake, and playing for Clevedon in Prem 1. So knowing Prem 1 from first-hand experience, what do you think the biggest challenge that our first team will face in that league?
I think in any league, in any sport, I think it's consistency. You know, the fact that in the first season of Prem 1 cricket, you know, our guys beat Bath last year. That's an incredible thing to do in the same season that Bath won the National Cup. So, you know, actually ability is showing in results like that it's not in question, and those players do deserve to be playing at this level. The difficulty with any league is doing that over a prolonged period of time and, you know, stringing those results together. So consistency is crucial, and then that feeds into momentum. And you know, it's a cliche saying, but winning is definitely a habit. You get on those winning runs, and even if you're not looking good in a game, you find a way to win rather than find a way to lose almost. So it's all about momentum, I think, across the summer. And yeah, building on last year, I think it was 4 wins finished, or 4 wins finished by the end of the season in the first team. So we're hoping for a lot more this year.
Great stuff. Now, this time of year is always when the rumour mill kicks in about who's playing where and what sort of different teams are looking like. From your knowledge, are there any teams that you think have particularly strengthened well in the league this year?
I mean, all teams are strong. There's no easy game. I think the Prem 1 has been, I think it's been fairly open the last 2 years or so, and no one has majorly run away with it, which is quite nice. Everyone beating everyone is normally a shock result each week or every other week, which makes it a bit more interesting. But in terms of strengthening, I think Bridgewater have picked up a couple of good players. So Clevedon, and obviously on a personal note, after being there for 7 years and winning Prem 1 with them, it's always special to go back and play against them. Normally a bit of chat, of course, and then topped off with a few catch-ups over a beer after the game, which is how it should be. So that'll be strong. And then of course Bath and Potton are always going to be there or thereabouts. So I'd say those are the big 4, if you like, if I was making a prediction at this stage. But as I said, it's a very open league, and results last year and the year before proved that.
Great stuff. Jake, it's been brilliant to spend some time with you and kind of hear your thoughts for the season ahead. Is there any final message you want to sort of give to the players across all the teams as coach?
Just a quick one, really. I reckon I'll leave it with get ready and excited, because, you know, the season is very much in our hands, and it could well be one of the best, if not the best season the club's ever had. So yeah, let's go and play hard, basically.
Brilliant. Great stuff. Jake, thanks for the time and looking forward to seeing you out there.
No worries at all. Thank you.